Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the first video lecture on the fifth semester subject, that is subject code 18 CB 53. 18 CB 53, and subject name is design of RC structural elements. Okay, so in the previous semesters, that is in the fourth semester, third semester, you have studied so many subjects. So all these subjects were analysis subjects. But now in this semester, we're going to study the important subject as per the civil engineering is concerned. Okay, that is design of RC structural elements. Now see, the subject name itself indicates what is the importance of this design of RC structural elements. Okay, so what do you mean by this RC structural? Okay, or what do you mean by this RCC? So we are familiarized with the concrete, that one of the important material, that is concrete. So why this concrete is used? And nowadays, if you see all the structures, okay, built with the material, that is RCC. Okay, so what do you mean by this RCC? So RCC is nothing but a reinforced cement concrete. Okay, that is R indicates a reinforced, then C cement, and another C, that is concrete. RCC, reinforced cement concrete. Why this? What is the difference between normal concrete and reinforced concrete, that is RCC? So the concrete is very good in compressive strength. If you use this concrete, okay, so we're going to get the very good compressive strength. Okay, so with this, so wherever the structure is required to resist compressive loads or to get the compressive strength, so concrete is used. That is plain concrete. Normally we call it as PCC. Okay, that is plain cement concrete. So PCC is used to get the very good compressive strength. Then why this RCC? Why it is steel is reinforced in the plain concrete? Now, concrete is very good in compressive strength, no doubt. But during the lifespan of the structure, okay, so there will be some tensile stresses. Okay, some tensile stresses will going to come onto the elements like beams, columns, footings, slabs, etc. So who will going to take these tensile stresses? Who will going to resist these tensile stresses? As concrete is very good in compressive strength, right? Concrete will going to take a compressive stresses, but these tensile stresses will be taken by some other material, that is nothing but tensile reinforcement, that is steel bars. Okay, so it is a RCC is nothing but it is a combination of concrete and steel reinforcement. So that's why it is called as reinforced cement concrete, that is RCC. Okay, so when you combine these two materials, okay, they will going to act together as a single material, and whatever the load, okay, that is compressive stresses or compressive load and tensile stresses or tensile load will be shared by the concrete and steel. So concrete will going to take care of compressive stresses, and steel will going to take care of tensile stresses. So this is a homogeneous material, okay, that is called as reinforced cement concrete. So in concrete, steel will be reinforced or steel will be placed wherever it is required. Okay, then the structure or the elements are known as RCC elements. So you come across with the, if you take any structure, okay, any, even if you take a building, small buildings also, the elements, what you can see, the elements like slab, lintel, beams, columns, footings, staircases, etc. All these elements, you can see the reinforcement inside the element. Concrete will be there and steel bars will be there. So these elements are called as reinforced elements or RCC elements. So this is one of the important subject for your civil engineering course. If you see here onwards in fifth semester you are studying this RCC, design of RCC structural element. Again in next semester design and design and drawing of RCC and steel structure will going to study. Then design of steel structures will going to study. Then design of pre-stressed concrete elements also will going to study in the seventh semester. So like this, now the design of elements will going to start now. So please remember that this is one of the important subjects of fifth semester. So one is this design of RC structural elements, that is 18 CV 53, and another subject important for this fifth semester will be AIS, that is analysis of indeterminate structures. Okay, so in the previous semester, that is in the fourth semester, you have studied analysis of determinate structures, and now in this semester analysis of indeterminate structures, that is AIS. Now let us concentrate on this subject. Okay, now it is known that, right, why this RCC is required instead of plain cement concrete. Now let us go into the details of this subject. As I told, course code for this subject will be 18CV53. Okay, 18CV53. Then as usual, okay, the time duration will be there, that is 4 hours per week, but we are considering it as 5 hours. In timetable we will going to include 5 hours per week. Then as usual internal marks will be 40. Then semester and exam marks will be 60 marks. Okay, so you will be rating the 100 marks paper. Okay, then that will be converted into 60. Okay, so 60 marks is your external examination, then 40 marks will be the internal examination marks, then total marks will be 100. Okay, then exam duration as usual it is 3 hours paper. Okay, now if you see the after studying this course means it is a subject. Okay, so what you will going to get an idea, or what will be the important or objectives of this subject now. So once if you complete this course, or if you complete this subject, then you will be familiarized with what you can identify, formulate and solve engineering problems of RC elements subjected to different kinds of loading. As you know, whenever you consider the any structural elements, beam, column, slabs, footings, lintels, etc., when you consider these elements, various loads will be acting. As usual, already we have known that any element will be subjected to different types of loads. That is, point loads will be there, uniformly distributed loads will be there, self weight will be there. Along with these loads, okay, then other loads will be there. Like in high rise buildings, we are considering the wind loads also, and earthquake loads also. Okay, so these loads will be considered. Okay, so when these loads comes on the elements or the structures, how the structure will going to behave. So based on the loads only, first we're going to do the analysis, then we're going to do the design. So once the analysis is completed, based on the assessment of load coming on each element, then we'll going to design the elements. So if you complete this subject, then it is possible to identify the elements, engineering problems like RCC elements subjected to different kinds of loads. Then some procedure has to be followed. Different methods will be there for the design of these elements. So once you complete this subject, then you are familiar with the different types of methods to be used for the design of elements. Then we are using the different codes. So based on the design, we are using the codes. So using various codes, we are going to be design the elements. Okay, so you will be finally familiarized with the analysis and design of elements, that is RC element. So these are the important objectives of this subject. Means you're going to get the clear picture of what are the different types of loads, okay, coming on the elements or the structure, then how to analyze the structural elements, then what is the procedure to be followed or different methods to be used, and what are the different codes we can use for the design of elements. Then finally you will going to be you will going to get the thorough knowledge of analysis and design of each element. So once again I am repeating this is the important subject of civil engineering course, okay, that is design of RC structural elements. Now uh, we'll go into the brief details of this syllabus. Okay, again as usual there will be 5 modules. Okay, so module number 1, which will be comprising of introduction to working stress and limit state method. Okay, introduction to working stress and limit state method. Okay, as the name itself indicates, there will be basically 3 methods. Okay, so out of 3, 2 methods are important. Okay, that is, one is working stress method and limit state method. So these are the 2 methods used to design the structural elements. Okay, so initially we were using this working stress method. Okay, so nowadays all the structural elements or the complete structure will be designed with the help of this method, that is limit state method. What are the advantages of this working stress method and limit state method, and then what is the difference between these 2 methods, we'll go into study in detail. Okay, but let us consider there will be 2 important methods used to design the structural elements, that is working stress method and limit state method. Second will be module number 2, consisting of limit state analysis of beams. Now as I told that, now in the module number 2 we're going to consider this method, how this method can be used for the design of beams, only for the beams, limit state analysis of beams. Okay, then module number 3, limit state design of beams. So module number 2, it is analysis of beams, then module number 3, it is design of beams. So in module number 2, that is analysis of beams, first we're going to do the analysis for the various beams, that is singly reinforced beam, doubly reinforced beam, that is flanged beams. Flanged beams means T beams. Okay, for flexure and shear. We're going to see what actually this flexure and shear, but we're going to consider these 3 beams, that is singly reinforced, doubly reinforced and flanged beams, that is T beams. In module number 3, again we're going to design these beams. Okay, whatever analysis you have done in the limits, that is module number 2, in module number 3 the same design will be done now. Okay, so that is design of singly reinforced beam, design of doubly reinforced beam, design of T beams. Okay, that is module number 3. Then in module number 4, limit state design of slabs and stairs. Okay, module number 4, limit state design of slabs and staircases. Now again if you see any building, if you see slab is required. Okay, the element which is required or the important, that is nothing but slabs. Again there will be different types of slabs will be there, that is one-way slab and two-way slab. What is the difference between these two, and then how these two will be designed, that we're going to see in module number 4. Along with this we're going to design the staircases. Okay, so again there will be 2 types of staircases, dog leg staircase and open newel staircases. So these are 2 designs will be there. So module number 4 will be design of, that is slabs, and design of staircases. Okay, then module number 5 last, that is limit state design of columns and footing. Okay, again this is also important. As you know, the total load of the structure will finally transfer to the column, then column to footing. So whatever the load comes on the topmost element, that will be transferred to the next, that is beam. The load transferring will be sequential, that is whatever the load comes on the slab, it will transfer to the beam. Beam will transfer the load to the column. Column will be transfer the load to the footing, and footing will be transfer load to the soil. So this is the way of transferring the load from top to bottom. So in module number 5, different types of columns we will going to design. Okay, then same way we will going to design the different types of footings. So from module number 3 to module number 5, in these three modules we will going to do the design of various elements that is required for the any structure, that is design of beams, design of columns, design of slabs, design of staircases, design of footings. So all the elements will going to be designed. So after completing this course, so you will be able to design any type of structure by applying the different types of loads. Okay, so this is what the brief introduction of the syllabus. So total 5 modules will be there, right? So all the 5 modules are important for your course. Okay, now next, if you see this the first module, that is introduction to working stress and limit state design. So before going into this working stress and limit state, okay, then first you should know what you mean by structure. Okay, what you mean by structure, how we are going to define a structure, right? So I can say that structure is nothing but it is a arrangement of various elements. Okay, various elements like whatever just now you have seen, the elements are like slabs, beams, columns, footings, like this. So all these elements will be connected to each other so that the load can be transferred from top to the bottom. So arrangement of these elements is nothing but a structure. Okay, this structure is subjected to various loads, and first you have to assess the loads, that is you have to calculate. Suppose if you want to design the beam, okay, you should know first what is the total load coming on the beam. Okay, then only it is possible to design the beam. So assessment of load is analysis. Then by knowing the load, you can design the element. Design is nothing but fixing the dimension. Okay, you have to fix the dimension, means if you want to design the beam, right, first you should know the how much total load coming on the beam. So whatever the elements which are above the beam, okay, those loads will be transferred to the beam. Okay, then once the load is known, then you can fix the dimension, that is cross sectional dimension of the beam, how much width is required, okay, how much depth is required, then how much steel is required in the beam, right? So where the steel will be placed, that we're going to see in the later stages. But right now required for beam, concrete is required, steel is required. So how much quantity of steel is required, we're going to calculate by designing the elements. Okay, so structure in general, it is nothing but assembling of various elements so that the load can be transferred from top to the bottom. So this is called as a structure. Then RCC, as already we know that, so plain cement concrete is very good in compressive strength, but when we introduce the steel in the concrete, automatically whatever the tensile loads are there or tensile stresses are there, those tensile stresses will be taken care by the steel. So that is called as RCC, reinforced cement concrete elements. Okay, then what do you mean by an engineering structure? Okay, an engineering structure, okay, is nothing but an assembly of members. Members means various elements. Okay, these elements will going to transfer the load from top to the bottom. Okay, so as I told, there will be two important aspects of this structure. One is analysis and second one will be design. Then what is the basic requirement of design? So when you start designing any structure or any element, what is the basic requirements? Okay, so there will be three requirements. One is safety. Okay, that is a safety first requirement. Second one will be serviceability, and third one will be durability. Okay, so these three aspects you keep it in mind when you want to design the any element or any structure. So these 3 points should be satisfied, right? What are those three requirements? One is safety of the structure. Second one, okay, serviceability of the structure. Then third one will be durability of the structure. Okay, so what do you mean by this safety? Okay, why this is important? Okay, if you see, structure shall be so designed that it will not collapse anyway during its expected lifespan. So when you construct the building or any structure, okay, we're going to design this structure for some lifespan, okay, and, about 120 years, 150 years, like that. So during this period, okay, so it should not be damaged or collapsed. Okay, so that is called as safety. So safety is an important requirement for the design of structure. So as far as when you say the design, so the design should be safe. Okay, it can take any type of load without damaging or without collapsing. So that is called as safety. Okay, then second one is will be what? Serviceability. Second requirement is serviceability. So the structure shall not fail during its expected lifespan. So in addition to this, it shall effectively serve the intended function. So for what purpose we are constructing the structure, that has to be served. Okay, so that is called as serviceability. So the performance is rated by the fitness of the structure to maintain the deflection, deformations, cracking, and vibration effects without any major acceptable limits. Means it should, whatever the mentioned things are there. So whenever the load comes, the elements may deflect. Some deformations will be there. Some crackings will be there in the buildings. Then vibrations will be there. So even though these things are there, but as far as possible these things should be within the acceptable limits. So your design should be such that, okay, even though the deflections are there, these deflections should be within the permissible limits. So that will be considered in the serviceability criteria. Then similarly third one will be on durability. Again, whenever you're going to design any elements or any structure, it should be durable throughout the right lifespan. 120 years, 150 years, this is called as a lifespan. So throughout the lifespan it should be durable. So remember, three basic requirements will be there. One is safety of the structure, second one will be serviceability of the structure, then third one will be durability of the structure. So by keeping these three basic requirements, your design should be carried out. Okay, right? So this is a small introduction part of this reinforced concrete elements. Okay, so that is in the next video lecture we're going to start with basic requirement for this uh, design of elements. That is, what are the different methods which will be used for the design of these RCC elements, like working stress method, limit state method. Then what are the differences between this working stress and limit state? Why now we are switching towards the limit state method? How it is advantageous over the working stress method? That will going to be studied. I hope you understood this, what exactly the RCC means, why it is required now. Okay, so we're going to meet in the next video lecture. Thank you for attending this. Thank you very much.